This is WFYI News Now. It's June 23rd, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, why Marion County districts could lose a significant amount of local dollars. A proposal by the U.S. Senate could require Indiana to roll back eligibility in the Medicaid expansion program. And Indiana Secretary of State Diego Morales remained defiant in the face of questions by the Indiana State Budget Committee.
So I will not apologize to anyone because my work ethic is unmatched.
Those stories coming up, but first. A new mural is coming to the Fletcher Place Community Center in downtown Indy, painted in anticipation for the WNBA All-Star Weekend that kicks off July 18th. It's happening as part of the WNBA Legacy Project, which is funding a number of community improvements by local nonprofits. The selected muralist, Box the Artist, has installed several murals throughout the city. A ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new mural is planned for June 26th. Traditional public schools in Indiana are funded in two main ways, through state dollars and local property taxes. While Marion County districts are set to get more money from the state, they could soon lose a significant amount of local dollars. WFYI's Eric Weddle has more.
The 11 school districts in Marion County are projected to receive a $75 million increase in state funds over the next 2 years. That's based on an analysis of legislative budget projections by WFYI, Chalkbeat Indiana, and Mere Indy. But changes to the state's property tax system are expected to cut local school revenue by more than $40 million starting in 2026. That money pays for transportation, maintenance, and utilities, things state funding doesn't cover. Some districts warn the cuts could mean delaying repairs or scaling back on bus purchases. I'm Eric Weddle.
A recent proposal by the U.S. Senate could require Indiana to roll back eligibility in the Medicaid expansion program. That's according to the top official at the State Family and Social Services Administration. Abigail Ruman reports the latest version of the federal reconciliation bill places stricter limits on so-called provider taxes.
The U.S. Senate proposed a lower cap on those taxes. Indiana currently uses a provider tax on hospitals to cover 90% of the portion of the Healthy Indiana Plan, or HIP, that the state is responsible for. FSSA Secretary Mitch Robe says if the current language is signed into law, Indiana would need to significantly roll back eligibility for HIP due to the cost of the program.
You've got a couple choices here. One is reduce the number of eligible people. Right? Continue to create wait lists. I don't like that answer, and that may be an answer.
Robe says another solution would be to pay providers less, but he says both of those solutions are unpleasant, so he would prefer to find a less expensive way to deliver care. I'm Abigail Ruman.
And for our final story today, Indiana Secretary of State Diego Morales was defiant in the face of questions about his overseas travel and spending within his office. Morales appeared before the State Budget Committee last week to request additional funds for his office. Morales has faced scrutiny for spot bonuses for employees, hiring his brother-in-law to a six-figure job, missing a legislative hearing for his agency while traveling overseas, purchasing a $90,000 vehicle for his office, and giving no-bid contracts to companies linked to campaign contributions. Democratic Senator Fatty Cadora says he's disappointed in Morales' leadership.
Those issues, when you put them together, it becomes extremely clear that your office is not being led transparently with accountability or professionalism.
Morales dismissed those concerns, saying they're part of him going above and beyond the call of duty in his job.
So I will not apologize to anyone because my work ethic is unmatched.
Lawmakers Wednesday approved more than $10 million in increased funding for Morales' office. Morales requested the funds for technology upgrades, the office's security division, and election support. That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Drew Daudelin and Zach Bundy, with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.